To say number 20 Colgate has a good defense is an understatement. 4 games into 2018, the Raiders statistically have the best defense in the FCS. Last Saturday, it was on grand display for a second straight week. For the first time since 1966, the Raiders pitched a second consecutive shutout, blanking William & Mary on the road 23-0. The shutout positioned Colgate number 1 in scoring defense with just 5 points per game and number 6 in total defense with 260.5 yards allowed per game. Even more impressive, if you take away a fourth quarter against Holy Cross where the Crusaders scored the only 2 touchdowns allowed by Colgate all season, the Raiders have allowed just 6 points in 15 quarters. A leader and a captain on that stout defense is senior linebacker TJ Holl, who was named the Patriot League Defensive Player of the Week. He had 12 tackles, a sack, and a forced fumble in the win. He joins me now in the PLN studio. Hi TJ, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Walking off the field and seeing another 0 on the scoreboard, what's the energy been like being a part of something that hasn't happened in 52 years?
You know, we got a lot of guys coming back on our defense, and we have a lot of confidence in our unit as a whole. And I think that as a unit, we strive, like Nick Wheeler said previously, to be runners and hitters and to be aggressive and to, know the game plan and execute the game plan. And I think that, our energy has been very high recently, and it's showed with our results on the field.
You mentioned all of the returning players. Heading into this season, head coach Dan Hunt touted that this defense was one of the most experienced groups he's ever had. How in sync is this group, having played together now for several years?
I think that communication is one of the biggest parts of being a great defense. And when you have a group that's played together for a long time and, a linebacking core and a secondary and a defensive line that, has great chemistry, I think that helps to make the whole entire defense work well as a unit. And having a lot of guys that are returning and a lot of guys that are close on and off the field, it really helps to bring the defense together as a whole.
You're really one of the leaders behind that communication on the defense. Where does your vocal leadership come from?
My dad is a coach and played at the Naval Academy. Played college ball. My brother played college ball. My little brother plays college ball. And I think that I grew up in a football family and grew up around the game. And being around the game for so long, you start to learn things about life and things about the game that not as many people can see from just watching it. Throughout all of those experiences, I think I've learned a great appreciation for it, and I try to be a good role model for the younger guys on our team.
Growing up, you were also a quarterback in high school. In an alternate universe, let's say you're facing the 2018 Colgate defense. You're under center, scanning through all 11 defensive players. Who scares you the most?
If I had to pick one, I guess I'd go with the immediate threat and defensive end Nick Wheeler. As an immediate threat off the edge, it's tough for any quarterback to get through his reads and his progressions with a guy that's going to be in his face right away. Our secondary is as talented as any, I'd say in the country. Our safeties are legit, and so our corners are the best in the league. And, even if you get enough time and you double team Wheeler and you can block the rest of our guys, it's going to be tough to complete a pass against our secondary.
Next up on the schedule is Bucknell, a team that has led the Patriot League in total defense in 6 of the last 7 years. What challenges will your offense face this week?
I think, like our coaches have said so far all week, we have a lot of respect for Bucknell. They play with the same mentality we do. We're both physical teams, we're both aggressive teams, and we both like to run the ball and defend the run. So I think our offense is just going to have to be more physical than their defense, and it's going to be an old school kind of smash mouth football game. And, if we can be more physical than them and execute better than they can, I think our offense will do just fine.
A big Patriot League matchup this weekend. TJ, thanks so much, and good luck this weekend against Bucknell.
Thanks for having me.